habit's mighty bad. It's the worst old habit that I ever had. I said, hey honey, they take a whiff on me. You know I love my whiskey and I love my gin, but the way I love cocaine, it's a doggone sin. Hey mama, they take a whiff on me. All right. Takes a little coke to give me ease. I strut my stuff just like I please. I said, hey mama, mama take a whiff on me. I take a whiff, take a whiff, take a whiff on me. I said, come on baby, take a whiff on me. Hey baby, Cocaine Habit Blues. I think this is a good place to start our discussion and the exploration of the key of C. Now, as I get older, I'm sort of enjoying playing tunes slower than I used to when I was 20 years old. And this is a case in point, because there are some beautiful harmonies to this version. I listened to the Memphis Jug Band, and I tried to get the melody line that the kazoos and fiddles that they're playing and put them onto the guitar. At the same time, I thought I'd approach this as if Mississippi John Hurt was playing the tune. But there are a couple little phrases that I'm sure Mississippi John Hurt wouldn't do. And then there's going to be another phrase I said, well, I should put in a Gary Davis lick here or there just to honor him. So let's see how I'm playing this. Let's look first at my right hand. I'm just going to play the C chord, and we have a straight alternating bass. But you see how that thumb is really emphasizing the even beats. So I'm playing a bass, bass, So those even beats are really almost like a strum. I'll play the bass, and then I'm going to kill the sound. And you hear how the guitar is singing out. So that's really important when you're playing an alternating bass in this style. You really want to have a full sound. And whereas you have your thumb playing a bass and your index finger or index finger, middle finger playing the melody lines, the treble, well, what's putting it all together, what's gluing it all together, it's that middle, the middle sound that you're getting by default. You're not even paying anything for it. All you're getting it is by hitting the even beats harder, literally harder. I can feel strength, more strength, strength, more strength. Okay, so now let's take a look at the tablature. And it starts off just playing the melody. Okay, take a look at my left hand. And notice my ring finger. So that's pretty simple. And now we go into the F chord, and this I really love. So I'm playing the F chord, but my high string I'm not fretting. I'm not playing it like this. I'm just playing, which is actually easier on your hand. And the reason why is because we get this lovely F6 sound. And what it does afterwards, you could go and then back into a C chord or G chord. But what they're doing, they have this, the Memphis Jug Band, that is. So what we have is that F phrase, keep that pinky down, and then with your thumb, and then I use my thumb of my left hand to catch that second fret of the sixth string going into the G chord. And that's just very, very simple. Now, if you look at the tablature, you might think, well, I could have gone. But I always suggest you play the full chord. Because with those even beats that you're really giving an umpa to, by having the full chord being fretted, you're going to pick up more sympathetic vibrations. But then the next line, after this, you have to get, well, you can't do that around that chord, so then at that point, we have to default and use our thumb. And then into a C chord. And then we have, let's just check out what this is. You have an open third string, hammer down with your middle finger, and then pull off. And notice how when I pull off, I'm going parallel, so I get a real chunky sound. And you hear one note, two note, three notes. So that little turnaround, and you keep your bass alternating, but in this case, you're having an open fourth string. So let's just try that measure. And then put your ring finger and pinky on the third frets of the second and fourth. Basically, you're going into a passing G chord, open, and you can either use your thumb or play a G chord there. So let's look at and try to play it together, the first two lines that we have. Here we go. Into the F, and then on the beat, into the first position G chord, thumb now, into the C, okay, you feeling comfy with that? So let's go on to the third line, which is just about the same melody, a couple little differences. So that's pretty simple. Let's just try that. We pinch. But here, we do a Gary Davis. So we're on the second measure of the third line. So let's check out what we're doing. We start off with a C chord, and then we go into this position. We had it before as a G chord, but now we're staying in the C, but we have our ring finger and pinky on the fourth frets of the second and fourth string, open first and third pinch together. So it's three pinches. And then back into that Gary Davis C chord. Remember that? The section that we just had before this, where we talked about chords. Check this out. So I have my ring finger on the third fret of the sixth string, and the rest is just like a regular C chord. So doing this again, and now into the F, but this time, and now look at my right hand, because when I'm playing this, and this is very important, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb. All right, now if you look at the tablature, you notice that the stems are going down, meaning the thumb. When it goes up, it means the index finger or middle finger. But when you have a single line like this, you're basically just alternating between thumb, index, and that's something that Gary Davis is really a maestro, an absolute master of. And I learned, at his feet how to do that. So let's look at that third line. Here we go. Now the Gary Davis into the F, that lick, G, use your thumb, back into the C, and again the hammer pull off. Okay, so that could be your guitar break, or if you can sing against that. I find it a little difficult to sing against while I'm playing all those melody notes. So what I like to do is, when I'm singing, to just literally strum. A cocaine habit's mighty bad, and then go to the F. It's the worst old habit that I most ever had. I said, hey, honey, baby, take a whiff on me. And then you may wanna go into the and play a solo. And then you can sing the next verse. And on and on. And you notice that Cocaine Habit Blues, well, it's been done by many, many people. Many old timers from the 20s and 30s right up. I think the Byrds did a version of this song. It's called Cocaine Habit Blues, or Honey, Take a Whiff on Me. Cocaine Blues is another variation of it. Reverend Davis has a very interesting version, which I teach on a different DVD lesson, but also played in the key of C. So it's a happy tune to play, really bringing out the old 1900s when cocaine was legal, and they were using it on the streets as well as in horse races. Enough of the history. Let's slow it down real slow and play with the split screen, and let's try playing it together. You got your tab out, got your guitar ready. Let's do it.